Okay, finally it's working. I just had to finagle some stuff here. So I am also on TikTok right now, as well as Twitch, YouTube, and X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, lots to talk about, lots going on in the world right now. So genocide maniac Netanyahu visited the White House today, and he handed Trump. He nominated Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, which is disgusting and deplorable. And of course, two maniacs who want to destroy our planet are striving to just do that. And that is very unfortunate. But obviously, with the destruction of this country already in his first 5 months in office, I could only expect Netanyahu to nominate him, because Netanyahu wants more weapons and wants to manipulate Trump to join his war against Iran. It is absolutely fucked up, and we're going towards that. I have a feeling that's the whole reason why Netanyahu is there today. So it's getting interesting. Trump refused, and the FBI refused, and Pam Bondi refused to actually show us the Epstein files. So there's a lot of pissed off Republicans that are out there right now, and we're seeing it. Like, people are starting to get mad. I don't like Kevin Sorbo, but I kind of caught what he said today, and I had to be like, oh shit, I'm agreeing with Kevin Sorbo. And for people that don't know who Kevin Sorbo is, he played Hercules, and he's kind of like a B actor. But anyways, yeah. And so they're mad about that, and then they're also worried. Trump supposedly is worried that it's going to look anti-Semitic if he releases those documents. I have no idea. I don't think that's the reason why. I think he's on the list. I think that there's lots of people that are, they're willing to hide on that list. Prominent people, Democrats, Republicans, celebrities, you name it, that are on that list. And this has been an American obsession since, well, really, I feel like since 2019. And, I really do believe that, obviously Jeffrey Epstein, human piece of shit. He deserved to die. But someone killed him. It could have been Trump's goons, it could have been Hillary's goons, it could have been anybody. And that's kind of the scary situation that we're living in right now in our country. Yeah, it is not good at all for the American people right now. Obviously, he signed the big, beautiful bill on the 4th, and that bill is basically going to take effect in 2026. If you haven't read that bill, you should, because it's going to impact you, regardless if you are a Republican, regardless if you're a Democrat, regardless if you're, whatever you may be, whatever you may consider yourself. But yeah, we have a lot of bad stuff going on in our country right now. And my feed is not working on Twitter. It should be. I have no idea why it's not. That is weird. I will be right back. And I'm not ending it this time, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Hope everybody can hear me alright. Hope everybody's going alright this evening. Enjoying whatever they're doing this evening. I hope it's good. So, I am not that tired today. I am sort of unemployed, so that kind of helps, right? No. Yeah, kind of getting back to everything. We're in a shitty situation, right? So these Epstein files, and then Netanyahu comes and visits. It's all it's weird, man. Like the JFK stuff, I could really care less about, but this whole hiding sexual misconduct, whatever it may be, is definitely not a cool thing at all. And what's going on is it's just starting to become more crazy as time goes on. And that really is a very scary thing to have to deal with. So, yeah. I try to get some people to join me in my lives, but it is hard to get people to join these, especially when not a lot of people are available to join them. So hopefully down the road I can get more people that are willing to be a part of this program, I guess. I'm starting to get a little bit better at it. I always have technical difficulties every night. I'm trying to use a really bad system that basically everybody craves about, and it's just insane. But yeah, it looks like I got 4 viewers, 3 on TikTok, 1 on Twitch. Actually, 3 on X, 1 on Twitch. So yeah, definitely subscribe to my socials. On the pod 77 is one of my accounts for X. You can definitely go there and follow me there. And then I do have Montana Socially 3. It is my main as well. Yeah, good shit. I feel like one of those DJs that work at a college radio station right now. Like, you're listening to Apples and Oranges, and here you go. I used to work at a college radio station back in the day. It was kind of fun. You had to say I swear to God, they made us say the 89.9 FM all the time. College radio. And we had to play certain types of music. And it was maybe not genres that I like, but if you worked a certain hour, if you worked the 7 to 9 or whatever, they'd make you play jazz. And I'm not a big jazz person. Believe it or not, I'm not a huge jazz fan. But I definitely enjoyed it. I tried to do a punk show back then, and that was kind of my thing that I enjoyed doing back in the day. But yeah, I'm trying to get more viewers into the live, and yeah, good stuff. So kind of getting back to my concerns is one, big beautiful bill passed on the 4th. Netanyahu visited today. Epstein list is not being really shown. They're hiding it. They're saying he only did all this by himself with Giselle Maxwell, which I find that to be bullshit, because how? There had to be other people involved, explain Trump and Bill Clinton on an airplane headed towards his island. or wherever they go to. Um, you know, um, and Jeffrey Epstein is Jewish, and the whole thing about him. I'm kind of wondering if he's like you know, a Mossad agent, basically. I'm kind of wondering if that is what he is, and that is definitely something that he could be. He could absolutely be, or was. I guess he's dead, but yeah, this stuff is probably making conspiracy theorists go crazy. Um, and we probably will never find out the actual truth because Donald Trump is going to bring this to his grave, which, to be honest, I hope that is soon. Natural causes, of course, or cardiac arrest from too much McDonald's. One of the two. But I can see that happening. We'll see. Hopefully that does take place. You know, good stuff. Good talk. Good talk. Yeah, so I am, a lot of contemplations going on. Went to a wedding this week, which was kind of boring. A weekend. Slept in on July 4th. And yeah, I've been sober for 6 months. I haven't had any alcohol in 6 months, and I haven't smoked any ganja in a year. So yeah, sobriety, it's good. Um, yeah, I'm on these medications that don't allow me to drink, and if I drink and use those medications, I have thoughts of rapture, and that will fuck everything up. Which I don't want to do. So yeah, good shit. So yeah, I wish I had more people in these lives, man. It is dragging. One thing I noticed is that TikTok is a lot worse. I try to I have 6,000 followers on that application, and I barely get maybe 2, 3 people on my lives, and I have no idea why. And I'm going at prime time night, to do those lives. It's really weird. TikTok was actually bought out. Well, not bought out. They're making a new version of TikTok, and Oracle is actually going to be making that TikTok as we speak. So that will be kind of interesting to see that take place. There's going to be some changes that people are going to probably not like, but TikTok is not leaving, according to what I read today. So, they're still going to ban the application, but it's not until I think March of 2026. So we have a little bit of time until the application is no longer available in apps at the App Store, Google Play, or whatever app you use to view TikTok. I think the whole censorship thing with TikTok is utterly ridiculous. Who cares where they're from? So many different types of people use this application, their livelihood, to get through maybe some hard days or whatever it could be. And, that's kind of one of the things that I think we need to focus on as a society is that, if it comes from China, if it comes from Singapore, if it comes from a place that we don't agree with, or our politicians don't like, but everybody else likes, they're not listening to the people. They're listening to fucking themselves talk. And it's interesting because all these Republicans, these fucking idiots, are like, who are against it, are like, oh, we gotta go for it because Donald Trump's extending it out, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It should be good. It's gonna be good. Um, but yeah, good stuff. All-Star game for baseball is coming up. I'm pretty excited about that. If you guys haven't been watching any baseball, a lot of people do or they don't. Um, Cal Raleigh is basically leading the major league in home runs, and he's pretty much on pace to beat the AL all-time home run record. So that will be a big deal when he does that. And so, and then he also got the nod to to play in the All-Star game. So my other team, the awesome Seattle Mariners, which they are mid at best, have made it to. Some of them have made it to the All-Star game, so I think they got 3 guys going in. So it's pretty decent for Seattle. Um, Chicago, I haven't really checked on yet. I'm sure there's some, because our team's pretty hot right now. So hopefully the Cubs win the NL Central, and we make a run towards the World Series with the Cubbies. I don't have that much faith in basically in the whole thing with the Mariners making the playoffs. I mean, they may make a run, but sadly, the Astros, or the Asterisks I like to call them, they are kicking some ass right now. So that is, pretty apparent with what they are doing. And so I am very much interested in seeing how well they do. The Mariners, that is, down the road. They started the season out pretty well, and then they went to the shitter. But Chicago is giving me that 2016 vibe again. And yeah, when they won the World Series, it was one of the best days of my life. If you watch that final game, you can watch it on YouTube or whatever, playbacks. That game still gives me chills to this day. I mean, they literally were cursed for like over 100 years. And that's kind of crazy. My daughter was actually born that year in 2016, and my grandmother was born in 1916, and so the number 16 kind of has a good karma for me for some reason. And so it gives me luck and gives me hope, and yeah, good stuff. But yeah, thinking about that now in the future and where we're going to go next. So yeah, good stuff. In video game news, College 25 came out today. It is, they allow a 10-day trial period for the game, so you can try it out for 10 days to see if you like it. I played it a little bit today. It was alright. It was, I had mixed feelings about it. It definitely, it plays the same, but it's a little bit different. The mechanics are the same, but it is a little bit harder. I tried to play with a former FCS team, Delaware, and I played against Penn State, and Penn State just beat the holy shit out of me today, so it was kind of embarrassing. I also was playing probably against a 12-year-old kid who, can kick anybody's butt because, children are sponges. And, but it was fun. It's a fun game. I pretty much played the hell out of the 2025 version, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So a lot of my summer so far is mowing lawns, playing video games, and trying to get sleep. And yeah, good shit out there in the world. But yeah, I should play some music. I don't know. Nobody is on tonight. What's going on with everybody? People are lame. They must be adults. Um, yeah, so my level of confidence is growing doing these lives. I probably should start doing them like around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock when everybody's on social media um, majority of the time. So that's what I'm trying to do. But, good stuff. Good stuff, America. Good stuff. So another thing that I've been thinking about today is like, okay, it's kind of interesting. Like all these Republicans, right? They want Pam Bondi to be kicked out. They want her to be gone. And yeah, she probably should be. But all of a sudden, they're these prominent celebrity Republicans, prominent Democrats that are not Republicans. Democrats obviously want her out. I want her out, and I'm not either. But who's going to replace her? That's the thing. Like, who's going to replace the Attorney General? Someone worse? Who are you going to put in that position? Because she's done some pretty gnarly things already, and that's kind of one of the biggest concerns that I have. I've noticed that this is a huge fucking problem with her, but then there's also like other things that they're doing. I mean, you need to get rid of the whole cabinet, and then you need to figure out a way to impeach Donald Trump, like, and JD Vance at the fucking same time. And who knows what's gonna happen? But yeah, we don't want Johnson in there either. Obviously, he's a piece of shit. And then, um, you know, but I don't know. I was watching or listening to a podcast today, and one of the podcasters brought in and I don't necessarily agree with violence because violence is not always necessary, but in some circumstances it is, right? And so he was like saying like, we should kill all of the basically all these politicians and take over. Now, I'm not really in agreement with that. But what I am in agreement with is like, okay, well, a revolution does need to take place because this country's divided. I mean, there's people that want to separate, all these red states from blue states. They want to merge into Canada, things like that. They want safety nets. They want liberty. They want, uh, I guess the purest form of democracy, right? And the thing is, we've never lived in a true democratic society. We've always been controlled by the status quo. And those individuals, like, um, fuck, you know, Speaker Johnson, President Trump, JD Vance, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, um, so many different names, Nancy Pelosi, they're all the same team. And what's really concerning about that is people don't really think that because they have been manufactured in their brain to fucking think that it's blue versus red. One is right, one is wrong, and blue team is good guys, red team is the bad guys, or vice versa. And guess what? They're all eating Domino's pizza in these closed meetings because they're all on these committees together. They share committees. And it's wild. It is fucking wild what these people do behind closed doors that we have no idea, but our tax dollars are paying for it. And they're content. They're very content right now. Every single one of them. And it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to show frustration. Um, when it comes down to what's going on. Um, there have been a few that have been brave enough to speak out against the genocide going on in Palestine. in Gaza, and, protesting against Netanyahu, and protesting against Donald Trump, and protesting, you know. Um, and I think it's pushing the envelope. I think people are starting to realize, like, oh fuck, we better fucking do this. We better start this war. Like basically internally, like it's like not really like combative war, but it's a war of principles, and how people are going to figure this out. They need to now. Um, Donald Trump also basically wants to bring in slavery, a form of slavery. He wants to allow immigrants to stay, but the caveat is these people have to agree, not the immigrants, but the farmers that take them in, that basically that they'll vouch for them to work on these farms, but basically do slave labor, not making any money, not being able to send any money back to their families in Guatemala or Ecuador or Mexico or wherever they're from in Mexico or Central America or South America or wherever they may be from, and he's taking that from them, and he's basically bringing back the slave trade in its own way, and it's really troubling to be a part of that in a society that is so racist already. We've always been a racist society. It doesn't matter, who's in charge or who preaches like these, oh, peace and love and all this other bullshit. It is very, very scary. Uh, you know, Gator Alcatraz is not needed. Why do we have to pay for that? Why the fuck do we have to pay for those things? Like, why should I have to pay for them? Why should you have to pay for it? Who should fucking have to pay for these things? Nobody. That money that's going towards all these evil causes could pay for healthcare for millions of Americans. It's not a handout for the government to support its people. The people already pay taxes to the government so that the government can afford to support the people. That's basically what it is. When you send a senator or congressman to Congress, they are supposed to be your advocate, regardless of whatever party they're a part of. And when they're not your advocate and they're doing their, dirty shit in Congress, and it's on national TV, it's impactful. There's a psychological effect to that, and I think that's where we are failing as a culture and in a society, and it is very problematic. It is very fucking problematic, and I'm concerned for this nation, and some people can joke and be like, "Oh, we're gonna be okay. We just gotta see what happens." No, you don't have to see what happens. It's happening. Open your eyes. The other day I live in Montana, and we have ICE agents here too. Probably not as much as California or Texas or Florida, but we have them here. And I was getting gas the other day, and an unmarked car, black car, pulled over some Mexican guys on the highway, and it wasn't, sheriff department or highway patrol. It was a unmarked car, basically. Didn't have any signs on the front of it or anything, basically. And then I got a glance of the license plates at the U.S. government. So you know, check for license plates. Some of these ICE agents vehicles have U.S. government plates on them, apportioned to the government from the government. So those are one things to look out. If you live in California, get their license plates, send them in. We're not as lucky in a red state where you can't report that stuff. Because our governor is really big on that. Our attorney general is big on that. Knutson, who's our attorney general in the state of Montana, he allowed ICE to train highway patrolmen in Montana. His whole thing is probably because Montana has Interstate 90 that runs all the way through it, I-15 as well, and another highway that goes down into, or interstate that goes down into Wyoming. I can't remember what it was, but these interstates are known for drug trafficking. Just always have been. Majority of the drug traffickers, though, happen to be from the United States. And they're not from a foreign country. That's complete bullshit. Most of the fentanyl that's in Montana is Montana made. Most of the fentanyl in Idaho is Idaho made, homegrown bullshit. It's not coming from Mexico or wherever. They're just wanting to blame something. Yes, the cartels probably do come to these places, but it's not what we think. Because the cartel's probably a lot smarter than, they're a organized crime. They understand, how to get through things, how to manipulate a system. And good luck, because I don't think it's going to ever change. I think people, we want so much, like not we, but the government wants so much control of us, and through media, through bullshit. We're the media now, though, right? You don't need to have a journalism degree to do podcasts or radio or even TV, I guess, anymore. Just get your voice out there, be heard. I know very little people listen to me. I'm not important in the regard to this broadcast. But if you are listening, just remember that sometimes the world is not a kind place. And right now we live in a very depressive, almost dystopian type world where people use our flag as a weapon. They use our, American. I'm American. Yeah, you're an American. I'm an American, so why can't I have an opinion that you don't? You're not. You're less of an American. It's pure evil. Loyalists are pure evil. I have a sibling who has abandoned his roots. He was a leftist like me for a long time, and then his reasoning is he found God, which is not offensive. People can be religious, that's cool. But it was I think borderline evangelical, which sadly stems into that far right-wing fanaticism and Trumpism and all the other bullshit that's out there. And he was really big into that. And it was intense. I mean, it's intense. I haven't talked to him for 5 years, which is sad because, he's my younger sibling. We're only 18 months apart, I believe. And, he just is so invested into Donald Trump. He's so invested into this, RFK, shit, and it's too bad. It's fucking too bad. I don't wish any ill will on him, but I mean, it definitely is a betrayal in a way, and especially to towards my family that has a deep, rich history of being leftists. I'm not saying Democrats, I'm saying leftists in a red state. Montana primarily is a purple state historically. The last president to get elected 100% with our electoral college and our votes was John F. Kennedy. That was the last president. So, and Obama, I don't necessarily like Obama, but he was pretty damn close. He almost got it, over whoever he was running to, John McCain. So, Montana has, has gone downhill. I like to call it Texas of the Northwest. We have a lot of people moving in. The growth is substantial. We're the most expensive state to live in now. It's unreal. I call it the Yellowstone effect, but it's been happening way before that show ever existed. And people love coming here, but as we, I guess, born Montanans, born in the state, we like to call people that move in Tourons, because they only live in the state part-time, and they're just absolutely stupid. And, they go to our national parks, Glacier or Yellowstone, and, something happens with a wild animal, or like just recently, the other day, a guy decided to try to climb down a canyon in Glacier National Park, and he basically almost fell into a roaring stream. You don't want to do that, man. You'll drown. Those are very deep water. There's signs everywhere that says, do not climb down into, don't climb down near the water, stuff like that. Stay on the path, things like that. And people are truly stupid. They're truly dumb. And it's really, really fucked up, And so, welcome in, Meme. Thank you for coming into my TikTok live. I am streaming. I am talking about a lot of different things. Hope your evening is going well, or morning. Yeah, good stuff. Good conversation. And thank you to the 4 that are in either Twitch or X. But yeah, just kind of getting back to the whole thing that happened in Glacier National Park. The people are dumb. I would say most people are logical enough to read a sign, regardless of where they're from or their background. But these individuals didn't read the sign, and this guy's lucky he didn't die or drown. I'm relieved he didn't, but he's absolutely an idiot for what he decided to do. We're all idiots at times, but you don't want to be, you don't want to, your family doesn't want to find out that you died through a newspaper or whatever the fuck it is. And basically, everybody sees you on the front page. Man drowned in Glacier National Park for being an idiot. Gets a Darwin Award and was nominated by Donald Trump. I don't know. It's just fucked up. But yeah. So we're in 47 minutes into the show. I appreciate everybody for joining in. I hope everybody is having good. Ari, welcome in to the live. I appreciate you coming in. Like and share and comment. Good stuff. I'm going to try to do another show tomorrow, but a little bit earlier. And when I do it, I will hopefully get more viewers, because this is not good. Not good at all. Um, yeah, good shit. Good shit. Good shit, Doctor. Wow. Okay. So Ozzy Osbourne had his final show with Black Sabbath. A lot of anti-Zionist people are angry at his wife, and I think even him, because they promote Israel. They love Israel. They think that it's, crazy. I think that they're crazy for that shit. Um, who knows why they do? It's Hollywood. They're rich. Obviously they might get some type of endorsement or something from, the Israelis, um, which is gross. And then I guess his daughter, Kelly Osbourne, is engaged to no other than the Slipknot drummer now. So that's kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, definitely like Slipknot kind of aged. They're not that good. I mean, I don't think they're that good anymore. I don't know why I think that, but I don't think that they're that good of a band. I think they're mid at best. I think that they're like kind of annoying. Um, obviously I like punk music. I like something with fast drums, like something that's kind of enjoyable. And then I like grunge. Um, the two genres that are coming back are punk and fucking grunge. Believe it or not, grunge is actually making a comeback, which makes me pretty excited to see that. So yeah, good stuff. Tomorrow I will be back. I'm gonna have a little bit of a better show, be more prepared, and I am gonna be closing out for the evening. But thank you for joining Late Night Burrito with Jonathan, and remember to spay and neuter your dogs, cats, or chipmunks, because breeding can become a problem. Alright, cheers.